Hey guys, welcome back. Just chilling out in my studio slash hotel room. I'm just going to sort of recap and just do a bit of a talking vlog now. It was raining and I left home late, so I had to drive for a couple of hours to get here to the snowy mountains. So already, even before that, it's Jimmy and Hannah's wedding. Awesome people, great friends. I've known them for a long time, and Jimmy and I grew up together, so we're all high school friends. Was really distracted, and then I looked at my calendar and went, oh god, it wasn't that I forgot. It was always in the back of my mind. I knew their wedding was coming up, and that's also why I came back from Philippines with my timing. So I've been traveling Philippines and shooting Philippines season 4. Go ahead and check out my Philippines travel series because I'm up to season 4. Anyway, so that was fine. But I came back knowing that they had this wedding, and I wanted to make sure I was here to support it. But like I said, I was just going through some personal stuff and a bit of my own personal funk, and then luckily Jimmy called me to remind me, and I was even like, "Hey, is anyone from the old crowd coming? Maybe we can meet up or whatever, the old high school crowd." And for those who are maybe a bit younger or who don't get it, after high school, school's out, so you go on to build up your careers or your working lives, or you learn a trade or whatever it is that you do. You study further or you work further. And unfortunately, some of that old crowd are just not so good. Not so good. Some of them got into drugs and gambling and just bad stuff, or just they're going through their own personal stuff too. So I even tried to get in touch with one or two of them to say, hey, are you coming to the wedding? I did call him to say, look, what's going on? And he gave me the info, like, it's here in Snowy Mountains, the address, come to this chalet. Chalet is like a cabin. And this place is very common, as the name indicates, snowy mountains. People come here for the ski season and the snow. And even outside of the snow, people go hiking. I believe it's Mount Kosciuszko nearby, and there's really nice restaurants and wineries, and it's a nice countryside area. And I haven't spent that much time here. So anyway, I have been to the snow once, but many years ago. Went snowboarding, it was really cool. So yes, we do get snow in Australia. So anyway, I was like, I didn't have it in my heart to say I'm not coming, because it's in this remote countryside area and several hours drive and yada yada yada. So I think that's part of it. When people don't know where it is, or if they haven't been there before, it gets a bit intimidating, be it locally or overseas, when you get an invitation to someone's wedding. And secondly, I don't think there's any buses coming directly here. For the snow season there is, but not just a regular everyday bus, so you would have to drive. So, a bit more inconvenient and tiresome, whatever. But I thought, no, look, I have to do it. He's my good friend, Jimmy. I've got to do it. So anyway, so I drove and I got to the chalets, the cabins. And the original plan was, he said, don't worry, relax. Excuse me, pardon me. Just had something to eat. He said, don't worry, just come to the chalet address. We will have a spare room for you. Each cabin has multiple rooms. So there was this big one with 8 rooms. So he said, obviously, it's huge, 8 rooms. We have a spare room for you, don't worry. But, bring your own supplies. They are cabins, self-contained, like cottages and cabins. So you bring your own food supplies and everything, but just come. Make sure you come to my wedding. Okay, awesome. So I drove for several hours in the rain. I had to pull over a couple of times for a couple of reasons. One, it was raining so heavily and it was starting to get dark. I was losing clarity. Even with the windscreen wipers, I just couldn't see very well. So I had to pull over until it just died down a little bit, kept driving. And it's also important to take breaks, rest stops, when you're driving long distance. In Australia, we say 2 hours. Every 2 hours, take a rest break. Even just a short break, stretch your legs, and readjust your eyes, readjust, just so you'll focus, for safety reasons. So anyway, I was also having some car trouble. I was like, oh no, and then there was some problems with the steering. So I was like, oh no, if the car's not safe to drive, then I can't keep driving, but I just slowed down. So the speed limit is usually around 100 kilometers on the highway in Australia, on most highways. So I just slowed down. I was holding up traffic. I'd pull over, let them pass, or just get into the left lane, because we drive on the left side of the road here in Australia. This is for the international friends and the international audience. And anyway, so just let them pass, so it took longer, is my point, so it added more time to my trip. And, oh God, so anyway, by the time I get to the chalet, unfortunately, unexpected guests had arrived. So there were people that were invited, but unfortunately they did not RSVP, they did not reply. And again, for the international friends, that's important. It's very common in Western countries, Australia, America, Canada, UK, Europe, Africa, China, Japan, Korea, the whole world. But I say that because the Filipino friends, I've even done a video on it. Filipino friends have invited me to weddings, and this includes other Southeast Asian countries, but they don't give you the address. You know, they don't give you the address, they don't give you the exact details anyway. Cultural difference. So anyway, this is what had happened here. And usually I'm a planner. You see, I'm usually planning, I'm prepared. People criticize me, you over-prepare, you over-plan, you're always fussy. And the one time I go impromptu, you know, one of the few times I go with the flow, Jimmy's like, just come on over, we got a room for you. And then I arrive and fully booked, overbooked actually. Overbooked. So they had 8 rooms and now they had none because all these people had arrived unexpectedly. And they were still trying to resolve how to get everyone a place for the night. But luckily I came early, so the wedding is not right now. The wedding's tomorrow, so good thing came early, and you know, it's okay, I can just chill out now. So anyway, he said, look, go to Rydges. Rydges is a good brand here in Australia, and I'm not sure internationally, but usually they have quite nice hotels, and I've used Rydges in other bigger cities. So this being a smaller country town, he said, look, go to Rydges. There are people staying there already who are part of the wedding party, and we even have a shuttle bus. So a bus will come pick you all up to bring you to the wedding in the countryside. Oh, okay, cool. I rock up here, so, you know, driving the car again, wet and no clarity, and it's raining and it's dark, and oh, you know, country roads, and most of the roads are pretty smooth, by the way. So it was quite nice, just that I was having trouble with my own personal car, older car. So anyway, you know, driving to the hotel, finally got here, used the Google Maps on my phone, and I booked it online. Literally just before I got here, I just went, oh, just in case I don't want it to be a wild goose chase. I want to make sure I have a room, otherwise I'm going to drive back home. Several hours and ruin my trip. And I booked it online, and okay, cool, hotels.com, and I even checked directly with the website, the hotel website, Rydges Horizon Snowy Mountains. And this is a smaller branch. You know, it's not like the big Rydges in you might find in Sydney or Melbourne or Perth. But anyway, the lady who greeted me, Michelle, she made that much of a difference. I just said to myself, you know, I'm like tired and not happy, and like I said, I was just going through my own personal stuff. I'm not complaining, but you know, I was at this point where I was like, you know, as much as I love these friends, Jimmy and Hannah, I might just drive home. You know, it's not working out. So I said, if they've got rude customer service, if they're bad, I'm just getting in my car, I'm driving. I'm not gonna bother. So anyway, I arrived, and very nice, this lady Michelle at reception, very bubbly, very friendly. Hey, welcome, you know, just by the way, you know, she's typing on the computer. She goes, you must be Brendan. And, yep. She goes, I thought everyone checked in tonight, but obviously you booked online. I didn't know. Meaning, she's very organized, you could tell. She thought, oh, I thought everyone had arrived for tonight, but she goes, don't worry, sir, we have a very nice studio for you, and here's your key. Explained the whole process. Here's the map, you know, use the parking, we have free parking for you. You know, blah, blah, blah. Full services, I mean, full amenities, you know, tea, coffee, dishwasher, refrigerator, you know, blah, 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 blah. If you want any help, come to reception, you know. If you want some things to do, sites to see, we can give you some information. There's some places to see. And then I explained I was here for the wedding, and we had a very nice chat. And she's actually a food reviewer. So she works here, but she does food reviews on TripAdvisor. And she was talking about, she goes, yeah, you're a vlogger, cool. And, you know, and it made that much of a difference. And, you know, maybe it's because I'm getting older, but I just find when you get that customer service, it really makes a bit of a difference. And customer service is not that big a deal in Australia. I even have American and Canadian friends who have come to Australia and said they love Australia. People are so nice in Australia, they love it. But customer service isn't the same as America or Canada. You know, the customer service culture isn't quite here. And they use tips, you see. So there's a motivation to have customer service because it's common to have tips in America. And it's coming into play here now, like service charges. I hate that. When you go to an expensive restaurant, they put a service charge, that's their tip. Or just that another bullcrap charge or another fee. But anyway, so, you know, it really cheered me up. And, you know, the staff were lovely too. I was taking photos inside the hotel, and, you know, they weren't camera shy. They were just like, hey, is it okay if we walk in front of the camera, or, you know, just being accommodating. And it just made that much of a difference. And then, you know, I caught up with Michelle down at reception, and I put her in the video of the hotel. And yeah, she was just really cool. And she's like, yeah, I get it. If you want to put me on camera, cool. Yeah, so it was just nice. It just totally changed the experience from being depressed and down and wanting to drive home to, hey, this is awesome. And she made a good point. Sorry, this is the point that I was trying to get to. She goes, whether you stay here or whether you stay at a cabin or chalet or whichever business, it's reflective of the region. So she goes, I'm not just trying to put my best foot forward to represent this hotel. I want to represent Snowy Mountains or this region. I want to make sure you have a good time. I don't want you to come in and say, oh, this was crap and this was a bad place, you know. And that kind of, and it just reminded me straight away of Philippines because, you know, I've done a lot of traveling there. I've done all the travel series of Philippines and other countries too. But this is what people need to understand. It goes both ways. So both the customer service people in yourselves, don't forget that you're representing your region and even your country sometimes. So when people have a bad experience with you, if you have bad customer service, it makes not just your hotel or your company look bad. It makes your whole region look bad. And that was a common theme in Philippines where you might have a bad experience and other people, I'm sure, can relate. You know, regardless of what country. You go to a country on vacation and you're excited and then you have a bad experience and you think, oh, that was a bad city. Well, maybe it was just a bad hotel or it was just a bad crowd or just a bad restaurant. It doesn't mean the whole city's bad. Sometimes there can be multiple bad experiences in one city. But that was an ongoing theme, so that's something that personally happens to me when I travel. Sometimes I have multiple bad experiences, and you think, well, this is a really bad place. Well, it's not necessarily the whole region. Sometimes it's just a bad hotel, or just, you know, some bad customer service. So, you know, we got to keep an open mind and not judge the whole region sometimes. But anyway, my babbling's on, so yeah, now I'm just really excited, you know, to obviously go to the wedding. I believe they have some activities planned. It's going to be something cool and new. They were explaining to me, I don't want to ruin it, but they said it's not going to be your traditional wedding. They're going to have different stations and things, anyway, like activities or something that you can do at the wedding, so there's different areas you can go to the wedding. I don't know. If you've been listening this long, thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to chill out. I'm going to actually get on my laptop, reply emails, reply comments from you guys on YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, go ahead and check out my YouTube main page, the Facebook page as well. Maybe it's coming up. Graphic. And of course, as usual, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and be adventures out.